Mike Evans from the Australian Security Academy with episode 213. I've got it here somewhere so you can see it, of Spy Curious, the weekly program for private investigators and loss adjusters and government compliance enforcement officers. G'day Joyce, how you going? Thanks for saying hello in the chat. Say hello in the chat, everybody, don't be afraid, and type in hashtag spy in the chat like it says down here, right? And you might win today one of these absolutely amazing Covert 1080p pen cameras, which you can go and have a lot of fun with. All right, so you might win this one, or you might win this one, or you might win this one, or you could win this one. There's a lot to win. So someone today is going to win that if you type in hashtag spy over in the chat, and that will happen. We'll draw that around about 2:30, or if I've got a dud program where there's no interesting information, we'll draw that around about 2:15. Who knows what might happen today? So so who's out there today? G'day Michelle, how you going? Great to see you. G'day Colin, good luck with it mate, I hope you win. Hi Chantel, I hope you win too. Hi everybody. If you're using Facebook and you haven't registered for StreamYard, to win, what you've got to do, people, is get over onto YouTube and type in Michael Evans PI Australian Security Academy, and this website will come up. And if you type in the chat there, hashtag spy, you'll go in the draw. So that's where you do it, over on the right hand side, down the bottom. You just type in hashtag spy into that YouTube chat if you can't register for Facebook, and you'll go in the draw to win a pen cam, just like Clyde did last week and David did the week before. They actually win these things and they're very happy with them, having a lot of fun. What's happening around Australia today in investigations? Well, as far as jobs go, there's some beauties this week. Let's have a look at our jobs. What have we got? There's our Facebook jobs page. So if you're looking for a job as a private investigator, government investigator, or corporate investigator, that's the Facebook page to go. If you missed that, you can watch the replay and stop it and just type in that Facebook page and it will come up and you'll see jobs. Now you have to answer 2 questions because a lot of people are trying to sell cryptocurrency that nobody wants because it's a scam, and I don't let them in. So you've got to say, yes, I'm an Australian resident, and yes, I'm interested in Australian investigation jobs. That's it. All right, so go to that jobs page and you'll see all these jobs and more. SureFact are looking for investigators everywhere you could possibly imagine. So get in touch with SureFact. This is on this job page, and direct link to the email. I had a question this week is, how do I go about finding a job as a licensed private investigator now I'm licensed? Insurance claims, code of conduct issues, bullying, harassment, racial discrimination, sexual harassment are out of control in Australia. There are more claims than there are people to investigate them. So the companies advertising in here, they want to speak to you all the time. There's no such thing as a job on the 23rd of April. No, that's ongoing. Now, the problem you have, g'day Freddie, how you going, buddy? Good to see you. Right. Okay. The problem you have is they're very busy. The one day of the week they're looking for investigators is Friday, because next week, that's where they've got to have all their jobs for next week allocated, because they've only got 14 days to do them, right, and have them back to the client. So ensure that you ring them up, email them, write to them every Friday, and you will get their attention. So there's no such thing as a job once in a year. They're looking for people all the time. Get that straight. There are people less intelligent than you that have done dud courses, right? And they have no idea the difference between a statement and a record of interview. They don't know that. They wouldn't know where to start one, right? They get jobs because they ask. Right? They're silly enough to not know that they can't do it. So you knowing full well you can, and you've had your statements vetted by Pat and myself, and we've ripped into you about getting them correct, confidently apply for those jobs. Sydney Uni, looking for a university investigator, you don't need a license for that because it's an internal role. So you're going to be it's got its own separate act, every university in Australia, and you'll be doing investigations into things that happen at universities. The biggest problem with universities, that's the biggest problem we have in our society practically, is people spiking drinks. That's what happens in universities. You're going to be investigating a lot of that. Okay, NBIS are looking for a compliance investigation officer everywhere in Australia. So that's down on our Facebook page. These are just some of the jobs. There's a whole stack more in relation to that. Massel Group in Melbourne are looking for factual investigators. Surveillance investigators are wanted by Quantum Corp and by M&A Investigations. And Brookside are looking for investigators. Quantum Corp wrote to me this morning, just before this program went to air, and said, Mike, send us everybody you got that graduates in New South Wales. They're all graduates of mine at Quantum Corp, so that's no surprise. But if you've got an Australian Security Academy certificate through an investigative services and a New South Wales licence, Quantum Corp want to talk to you. Okay, they know that you've done the right course, so that's really important. G'day, Clyde. How's the pen can going? A big winner from last week. I'm sure you've had a lot of fun. Nobody can go to the toilet or have a shower at home anymore this week while you practice with that. Really important. You charge it with a USB, but you've got to buy your own SSD card. That doesn't come with it when you win, okay? And to win it, you must claim it within 24 hours, be an Australian citizen, and the offer stops today at 2:30. You can't enter with a hashtag expire tomorrow, okay? So that's really important. Send me your physical address so I can post it to you. David got his and Chloe got hers. So really important, if you're going to win that, got to be an Australian resident, an Australian address, and the offer shuts off at 2:30 this afternoon. You'll see it in action who wins. But what else has been happening this week? Well, today over on Investigations Uni, we had operational safety, and Pat Flynn and Alexander Evans did their presentations on that. That was pretty good. We also had Pat presenting on briefs of evidence, and a lot of people complicate briefs of evidence. It was only a very short presentation. If you are studying Certificate 4 in Government Investigation, there's some help with the assessments at the end of that program, okay? And the same with operational safety. There's some help with the assessments if you're a private investigator or studying Certificate 4 in Government Investigation at the end of both those presentations. It's there to help you. It's support for your study, and it just halved your assessment time. So if you're not having access to that, you better get in touch with me and get access to that. That's really important. So what's in the news this week? In investigation news this week, one of the ones we've been following doesn't seem to be coming up for some reason. Oh boy, it looks like I've had some stuck presentations. That's great, just what I need. Might turn off my banner, that might help me to do that. Might turn off my music. And my cat's starting to meow. You're all familiar with that, so that's no surprise. Turn off our music. Might be able to get this thing working again. Yes, you've been fed. Okay, down in Tasmania, with the ongoing trial for the murder that happened down there with Shane Barker, who was killed in 2009, shot 4 times. Basically, what's happened this week is the police intercepted a phone call between one of the suspects and her brother. And in that phone call, they talked about some of the experiences that they've had in the past. And the brother said how the police interviewed him about what was going on. And they asked him about an altercation that he had with some people previously. Just having trouble picking these up. I've got tie marks. Now that altercation, no. Well, I've got everything shut. I don't know what's going on here. That altercation was between a known family who were related to the murdered person. And basically the police had found out about it and suspected that the brother may have been involved in the murder because of that altercation. Now, he wasn't, right? But it was a line of inquiry they had to follow in that murder case. Nothing's working and I depend on these things. So it's a very well-known family, and the police had to go and find that family and talk to them about what happened, which is quite interesting because they can be quite difficult to find. They live in the bush and they don't really have telephones. There's only one way to find them, and the police were pretty clever about it. They knew how to do it. So we'll try and find it, see if we can find how they did it. See somewhere. Clever cops.
Okay, to find your witness in the bush by that name, go to the Lachlan Hotel, enter the bar and order a beer. Now that beer must be Bogues, not Cascade. Then casually consume the beer. It might be your last, so enjoy it. Turn the empty glass upside down and place it on the bar. This is your introduction to yourself to the people who you're looking for. They will find you instantly. The whole family will arrive after what you did with that glass on the bar. The good news is if you survive, the Ouse District Hospital is only a 200-metre call away.
Trust me, they're really good about it, and they line up and fight you one at a time, so they don't all come at you at once. So that's good news as far as your risk goes if you start turning glasses of beer upside down like the police had to find their witnesses. Now, the other issue that came out of this case was the alibi for the good on you, Luke. Thanks, Joyce. That's what it looks like. The alibi for two of the murder suspects was that they went to buy KFC in Launceston, and the reason that on their phones that they were in Campbelltown where the murder happened that day was they were driving through. They weren't there to murder the person. So when this sort of thing happens, the police go out and they check and confirm what the person's alibi. So the two murder suspects said they weren't in Campbelltown that day. They were at KFC in Launceston. Now, investigators really concentrate here because this is so important. This is 9 months after the murder that this is found out. Sorry, 3 months. It's in the newspaper. The police go to KFC in Launceston 3 months later and ask them for the video of the day of the murder when the two suspects claimed they were in Launceston and they went to get KFC. So for the video from 6 o'clock in the morning till 2 a.m. the next day, the cops had to watch that video and see if the two suspects were actually at that Launceston KFC. And they weren't. So the police confronted the suspect about it and said, look, you weren't there. And it's in the newspaper. You can Google it, Shane Barker murder in Campbelltown 2009. And the police put it to the suspect that you were not actually there on that day. They said to them, we've watched hours and hours of footage, not just timeframes that fit in with your phone data, and checked it, and you weren't on the CCTV. Now, you've heard me in this program speak about how we've done that at train stations. It's really good read. We've done that at train stations where someone said they had an accident at the train station at 7:15, and we've looked at the CCTV and basically Type it in, hashtag spy people. Good on you, Chris. Good to see you, mate. And we've got that CCTV and we've checked it. And we've checked it the day before and we've checked it the day after. We've checked it. G'day, mate. Good to see you. Hope everything's good in Adelaide. And we've checked in relation to personal injury. Now, the police have done this in relation to a murder. So they've had multiple police officers check the CCTV. Now, why the hell would KFC keep CCTV? No coffee mug, mate. We've just got a 1080p pen cam today. Okay, stay with me. Drawn at 2:30. Got to be an Australian. Why would KFC keep CCTV, and why would they have cameras apart from arguments and bumps in the drive-through? Well, yours truly did an investigation, and it was with KFC, and it was 8 years before that event, and basically I'm a little bit to blame for this. So what happened was there was a couple. I'm just going to make sure I've got the right video. Let's have a look. Don't think that's the right one. Going to have to share my screen. This is what happened with this couple that made a claim against KFC. And it comes down to, this is food service. You have an assessment with the Australian Security Academy in your private investigator course. What I talk about, it comes down to whether the sausages were pork or beef in a food poisoning case. Now, this one's an allergy case. Let's have a look at it.
The KFC shop was a wonderful, profitable franchise, and the claimant said that they ordered regular and not hot and spicy because they were allergic to hot and spicy. And in the drive-through, they were served hot and spicy instead of regular, and they ended up in the emergency room for 2 weeks each. It's both the husband and the wife, and they put in a complaint to KFC about their allergy to hot and spicy and the damage it caused. KFC management, they relented and they believed their every word. No medical records or receipts were retained, and they gave them a free KFC for life card as compensation for their 2 weeks in the emergency room at the local hospital that nobody checked if it happened or not. The couple accepted the offer and every night went through the drive-through to get free KFC for life, but there was only one problem. They brought their friends with them as well. So every night KFC was giving away lots of KFC for free to the original couple and to all their friends. So KFC implemented a system of CCTV where they monitored everything. This included receipts of delivery, storage, food preparation, handling, and that CCTV is still monitored and saved today. The free KFC for life card was cancelled within 2 weeks of it being allocated.
So that's why food, that's why places that are involved with food, they record this type of thing. So they record it being delivered by the delivery truck, being stored in the cool room, where it's stored separately from regular in the cool room. That's all recorded in the cool room. It's all done with CCTV. It's even recorded being made in cement mixers, that's what they make it in cement mixers at the factory at Ingham's. So it's recorded the whole time. So if you're going to use as an alibi for your murder, I went to KFC in Youngtown and I ordered the execution pack with extra bullets, right? It's not going to fly because KFC, for years before that, have had claims in relation to food allergies and food poisonings that never happened. So it's a walk-up start for the security risk manager at KFC Australia-wide to say, yes, we've got that and we keep all these things. We can give it to you. And all the police have to do is ask for it. And the police didn't see the couple that are suspected of the murder at KFC. Then the interview of the husband, he caves in and says, well, my wife suggested we say that because I wanted to say we were at home. It's not looking good for the two suspects in the Shane Barker murder case as that involved. So have a look at it. You're an investigator, right? Have a look at it. Google it, Shane Barker murder, Campbelltown, C-A-M-P-B-E-L-L, Campbelltown, in Tasmania, and you'll get some really interesting insights into actually how the police work exactly the same as private investigators and government investigators do. Don't forget, people, with our investigations uni, you can do your CPD points. So you can, with your weekly email that you get with your invite, you can go to our site and complete a short quiz and get CPD for a various range of learning. And those CPD points are something that Allianz and Suncorp, QBE, they insist upon, right? So you're not adding extra to your study for your nationally recognised qualification. You're setting yourself up for success in the future where when you start applying and you hit Brookside or you hit Shawfax or you hit Massel or Quantum Corp or whoever you're hitting up for work, all right, you're going to be celebrating with lots of balloons quickly afterwards because you've shown them that you do CPD as well as you're licensed and qualified. And that just puts you ahead of the pack when that happens. Don't forget, Clarity Investigations has got coming up on the 15th of June, a really important presentation that you can Google or you can replay this and stop it. And it's free and you can watch it. It's about coercive control and power imbalances in the workplace. Now, I discussed this last week in education of compliance enforcement officers in Brisbane City Council and Toowoomba City Council. It was disgusting, really was disgusting, the power imbalance that was put on those compliance enforcement officers, cooperate or fail. And that was by their workplace and their teacher, all male, disgusting. So Clarity got that coming up, really looking forward to that. I can't wait for that. That's something that's coming up in the future, and coming up in a minute is our draw for our pen camera. So please type in the chat, #spy, and you'll go in that draw. And let's see, what else have I got this week? I think I've done everything, got all of that. Yeah, I think I covered everything I had to do. So, yes, I am going to be short on this. Yes, I am going to share my screen. Now, got to work out how to do it. Okay, we've got 7 entries. Oh, congratulations. And Freddie Lewis was our winner. I hope you saw that, people. Freddie Lewis was the winner of our pen cam for today's program. Freddie, mate, you have got to PM me, mate, and you've got to send me your physical postal address so I can post out Freddie's 1080p pen cam. When you're pulled over by the cops for speeding or traffic infringement, and you notice in the top of their pocket, they have a pen and they're not taking any notes. They're recording you. Okay, really important. So, Freddie, congratulations on winning that, mate. Well done. That's covered our program for this week. Good on you, Joyce. Nice to see someone congratulating someone for winning. That's great. Well done. Please tell me that you actually saw that draw. I don't know whether I can't see until I do the replay, and I'm too old and too useless to be doing this sort of thing without Casey, who is not well at the moment, but she's recovering. So we hope she gets better very soon. People, that's our program for this week. Well done, Freddie from Colin. Congratulations. Do I have to remind you how to go to the Lachlan Hotel and introduce yourself? Probably should before we go. Quick reminder, just in case you missed it.
Okay, to find your witness in the bush by that name, go to the Lachlan Hotel, enter the bar and order a beer. Now that beer must be Bogues, not Cascade. Then casually consume the beer. It might be your last, so enjoy it. Turn the empty glass upside down and place it on the bar. This is your introduction to yourself to the people who you're looking for. They will find you instantly. The whole family will arrive after what you did with that glass on the bar. The good news is if you survive, the Ouse District Hospital is only a 200-metre call away.
Yes, I will hope Casey gets better soon. Thanks for your best wishes, people. That's really great. We'll be back next week. Next week, we will be looking at investigation jobs, what's happening in Investigations Uni. If you haven't received an invitation to Investigations Uni yet, and you recently signed up to be an Australian Security Academy student, it'll be coming. And you will get links to 45 other presentations relevant to investigations that cover a wide range of issues like statement taking, as you saw in those CPD points that I put up. Freddie's going to be enjoying himself with his pen, I'm sure. So people, as always, we end every week with the same way. Don't forget, it's really important. It's called Cold Eyes. If you ever get a chance to watch it. You get some really good tips.
진짜로 잡았습니다. 작전 종료. 전원 복귀할 것.
Mission complete, people. All units return to their base. Colin's wished everybody a happy weekend. I'm wishing everybody a happy weekend. It's beautiful here on the Gold Coast at the moment. It looks like it's going to extend out. Joyce has wished everybody a happy weekend. Good to see you, Joyce. Congratulations, Freddie. Well done. 1 out of 7 people. That's not bad going. There's a lot of people going to be jealous because they didn't win Pen Cam, but they can win it. Maybe this one next week or that one next week. Who knows? Lucky them. See you next week, people. Thanks for watching. I'm Mike Evans from the Australian Security Academy. You'll be watching Spy Curious, part of the That was episode 213 in a row. I feel old. See you next week.